that morning dew on the vehicle. You know. Anyhow, yo, Bo, it's another. God, that sun. We missed it for a while when it was just rainy and overcast for a couple. It seemed like almost a month, and now the sun is out again, and yeah, driving's going to be an adventure this morning. But anyhow, use all the driving skills, and we're gonna put them to good use today. Sorry for the noise. I have to have the wipers on because of the morning dew. And why am I out in the morning? Yeah, 9 out of 10 times it's either jersey or hat related when I'm filming in the morning, right? So today is another Drop It Pro image. Surprise, surprise. On my way to KOP, which I seem to do just about every Saturday morning. Let's see. They're doing the main reason why, and I probably don't have to go this early for this hat. What I've realized in recent weeks is sometimes I've misjudged the interest on some hats. So the last time I actually filmed at KOP, that set was the cream of the crop set, when you had all those like the jersey front hats with the cream colorway going, and that set was a big winner for them, at least in store. I think there's still some available online, and you know, it's just one of those things where, yeah, I mean, there's interest, but you know, does it really, you know, where's the peak interest? There's certain hats from that set that everyone went gaga over, and then there were certain ones that are like, you know, don't need it, you know. Obviously, me, I'm looking at them jersey-related reasons, right? Combo wombo reasons. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be hits and misses. I just never know. And obviously, you know, that day there was at least, I don't know, 5-6 other people there. I do believe, and I think I made mention of it, that flipper guy showed up too, but I'm usually there before him, so I'm okay in that regard. He doesn't go after everything. He might go after like one Phillies hat, but because he goes after 7.5, and that's the size I go after. That's my primary size anyhow. I can wear 7 3/8, 5/8, so I have a few that I can kind of choose from. But I like the 7.5 the best. Just, you know, it has just enough room on there where I have a little wiggle room, you know, for sweat reasons and whatnot. That's the size that seems to work best for me. But if I can't get that, I'll go 7 5/8. I'll go 7 3/8 if I have to. But anyhow, so the main reason I'm going this morning, there's a Dodgers hat that they did like this big side patch thing this week, which I am remiss I didn't get when it was originally out. It wasn't the big side patch. Lids did a set. I think they did this a few years ago, and they had like different, you know, all-star or anniversary patches on the side, and each hat was like I believe like a gray hat kind of. And they did a Dodgers one. Well, they did like 3 or 4 Dodgers one, but the one I really wanted, I had interested but I never got, was in 1990. They celebrate, I believe it was the 100th anniversary. Mitchell & Ness made that jersey for Darryl Strawberry, the home and road version. I have both of them. It has that patch on the sleeve, patch on the hat. So that is I was always, you know, remiss that I didn't get. I know that's been out there again. Some of the colorways though for it, it never hit me. You know, it really, like, I don't need a pink, you know, Dodgers hat with that on there, or a purple, or, you know, green, or whatever the other colors they were using with it. You know, crazy colorways. But Pro Image this week did just a regular blue, the regular on-field hat with that on the side, with the 1990 patch on the side. So that's what I'm going for primarily. They also did another one of those kind of hip-hop album hook sets. They've done this before. I have a few that they've done before. I have the Mets in the Public Enemy and also in the Wu-Tang, hooks that they did. I also have the Chronic hook they did for the Angels. And they usually do a nice job with those. So they did one for the Phillies that I got to see it. I know that the fellas from Views in the Vault, they showed it this week. They did a review of this set coming out today. And the Phillies hook is for Jedi Mind Trick. I don't know anything about Jedi Mind Trick. But I like the look of the hat that they showed. So it's like, all right, well, that one I would imagine people, if anyone's there early, it's probably for that set. Not so much for the big side patch set, but for that one, right? Because it's a hook. People go crazy for that kind of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I better just, in case I like the hat, let me go take a look at it, see how it looks in hand. Whether I get it or not, I don't know. Because I'm mainly just going for that one Dodgers hat for the 100 side patched for Strawberry. But knowing me, yeah, there might be multiple ones coming home today. We'll see. Nothing will ever top that 8. I still don't know what the heck happened that day. That was, no, I know what happened, but I'm not overly surprised. But no, so that's the main reason I'm going today. And Pro Image does, Fan Treasures, they have a site, and you can get the hats on there. In fact, I got one that wasn't available in store. That was part of their Cream of the Crop collection, and I'll show that in the next video. So that came in the mail the other day. But some of their stuff sits online. Some of it kind of moves quick. It's just it's hard to read. I do think it's a good thing. I'm not complaining about it, but the overall hat craze is kind of diminished as far as the resale value. Now, you still have ones that are always going to go. They're always going to fly. It seems anything Houston goes crazy. That Bison, hat still goes crazy. Certain styles and colorways and, logos and whatever, they're still going to go. But it's not like it was a couple years ago, a year ago, where it was just everything under the sun was going instantly. There's a lot of stuff, and listen, there's in the hat community, there's complaints because the overall quality doesn't meet the quantity. It's like almost like making hats for making hats, So Hat Club, you have stuff sitting now, whereas just a year ago everything was gone, nothing was sitting. You may even have a chance at some clearance hats now, which is, I think, is fine. That helps, save a few bucks. I think, in my opinion, some of the stuff that's sitting there, they still got some nice stuff. They got some heaters that are sitting. But I understand it. People are, hey, people want what they want, and the hooks and all the different various drops aren't what people really want to see, and so the Hat Club is kind of, maybe they've taken a step or so back from what they were doing. Now, for me, like I said, there's still some hats that are sitting there that I like, and if they can sit there a little longer, maybe I can, maybe I can make a move or so. But, we'll see. We'll see. There's just so much out there, and that's the thing. It's there's a lot that's just sitting. There's a lot that's out there, and it's nonstop. It really is. And if the hat looks good or not, that's up to whoever has interest in it. Me, as we know, one of the reasons I'm looking for them is to go with jerseys, you know. So not everyone's going to look at them that way, right? So, but there's that. So that's where I'm off to right now as I'm doing this little vehicle vlog. What else? I am sorry I haven't done a whole lot for other ventures that I've been here on YouTube. The Season of the Fan, the End of Life, the showing some stuff that I've still been meaning to show. I have hats, I have jerseys that I still have to do videos for, pick up videos. The Wednesday, Combo Wombo Wednesdays on my IG, I haven't been able to do the last how many weeks. It's been a mixture of reasons. I got kind of sick one week. It was ironically right after I got the flu shot. And that was it was part of that was a Wednesday, so I just didn't do it that week. And because we haven't had playoffs here for baseball in 11 years, you do kind of forget how time consuming a run can be, for a local team. And I'd much rather have it than not, believe me. But you have games just about every day, every night, and it's so captivating. Baseball, because there is no time limit, shot clock, whatever. I know next year they're doing the pitch clock, but it's not a timed thing, so games can go, and a game that starts in the afternoon is over in the evening, and a game that starts in the evening is over late at night, or in some cases maybe very early the next day. So you're going to have to, it takes a chunk of time. Baseball playoff games are anywhere from 3, maybe 4 hours. It just depends. It depends on how the game flow is, if it goes to extra innings, all this different stuff. And obviously right now the Phillies are on a run. Since the last video I made, which was after game 1 of the wild card round, they won that round. Now they're in the NLDS. They're playing the Braves. I got my John Kruk 93 jersey on now, hoping for beat the Braves vibes, because the last time the Phillies played the Braves in the playoffs before this season was 93, and they won that round, and they went to the World. We're gonna forget about what happened at the end of the World Series. I know we got Blue Jay fans who watch me, and you stay classy, Canada. Right? I saw how you were all behaving after your Jays got knocked out by the Mariners. And you talk about the Philly fan. All I'm saying. All right, all I'm saying. But anyhow, the Phillies yesterday went up 2-1 in the series. It's a best of 5. I'm not saying it's over. I'm a Philly fan. I know. Okay, nothing's over till it's over. But obviously, it's been very captivating. Anytime you have a run in a playoff situation, it's an exciting thing, but it does. It's a time consuming. It kind of captures you, right? So that's part of the reason I haven't really done a lot of the video making for the pickups and the Season of the Fan, which I want to. And I know this week is Dallas week, and it takes a playoff baseball run for anything to be more important than an Eagles-Dallas game, particularly the first one of the season, particularly with the fact the Eagles are 5-0 and Dallas is 4-1 coming, because it's this first place in the division on the line in this game, right? It's a big game. Sunday night football, right? Primetime football. But the Phillies playoffs, it was yesterday, it's today, today's Saturday, it's today, it's this afternoon they're playing again. And that's really taken the brunt of the attention this week. And rightfully so, it's playoffs. And even with football, as much as I love football and I love my Eagles, right? If there's a team in a playoff run like the Phillies, that's going to take the precedence, right? And I will watch the Eagle games and I'll be into it as much as always, but as far as video making and doing everything, I'm going to have to kind of figure when I can. Because my attention when I'm watching the Phillies playoff games is on the Phillies playoff game. I'm not thinking about making videos on YouTube, So look, I haven't had this in 11 years. So this is kind of, we're getting back in, and hopefully we continue to have this. Hopefully this is just the beginning, right, this year. But in fact, I did purchase a ticket for it would be game 3, but the first home game of the NLCS. So if the Phillies win today or tomorrow, hopefully today, I will be going to my first ever playoff game in person for baseball. I've never done it. This will be a first. I've seen all the other teams, at least one playoff game for each, but the Phillies. Because I didn't get tickets back when they were, that 5-year span of when they were winning those years ago, from 07 to 2011, and obviously in 93 I was too young and I wasn't getting playoff tickets then. And my parents didn't do it either. So I remember that, and 93 was probably my first real memory of the Phillies, but obviously didn't go to any games then, and I didn't go from 07 to 2011, and it's been since 2011. Had our first playoff home game yesterday, so I look forward to it, and listen, I hope they advance no matter what, but the fact that I have a chance to go to a game, and I saw that atmosphere on TV yesterday, it was just electric with the rally towels and everything, and the fans were just, it's great. It's a wonderful, Philly is one of those cities where obviously we're all crazed for all of our teams. The Eagles probably will always take the mantle, but for all of them. And when one of them is making a run like the Phillies are doing now, or the Sixers have done, or the Flyers, those years and whatnot, obviously the Eagles, that goes without saying, but it takes over. It takes over, and everyone gets in, and then everyone's captured by it. And seeing that yesterday at Citizens Bank Park, and even as great a team as the Braves are, and the defending champion, and they have a lot of talent on that team. I think some of them got rattled by that. And it takes the Philly fans to do it, because that atmosphere, with everything I heard, that place was loud, and I can imagine. I can imagine how loud that place was, and I can't wait. I hope they win, because obviously I want to see them win, but I want to go to a playoff game. I want to get a rally towel and be part of the crazies in there at Citizens Bank Park, hopefully in the NLCS against either San Diego or LA. We'll see. I know the Padres are now up 2-1 in that series. So obviously that's been part of the reason why the videos have kind of been here and there. Obviously my mom's situation has been there too. And she's doing okay, by the way. She's doing fine. She's a fighter. So she's doing good. But obviously that's been there too. So there's been a lot. There's been a lot going on. The pickups have been happening though, and I've been getting some stuff in the mail and some stuff in stores, and of course you get more merchandise. That's the other thing. When your team is going on a run, you're going to spend a bit, because they get merchandise, and every round it just continues, right? So there's been that. I do have some stuff to share and show. I will do that. I'm hoping by tomorrow. Probably will have to be a 2-part video, because I only have so much time on my phone that I can film with the memory. So we'll see. But some of the Jersey heads hooked me up with some good stuff in recent time, and I thank them for that. And I've been able to pick up some stuff from them, and here and there, whatever it is. It's also getting to be a little tricky time of year. Obviously, with the NBA and the NHL starting up, you have all the new jerseys coming out. I did get the throwback Steph Curry Warriors, the Run TMC era jersey. I know the statement jersey still has to come out. The City editions still have to come out. The hockey, the reverse retros have to come out. And I've seen some of the possible mock-ups for some of them, and it could get interesting. It really could. Although I am going to try to limit it to the, what I really want. But some of them are going to be hard not to pull the trigger on. They are just, I think there's going to, the first round of them a few years ago, there was some incredible, bangers in that set. This one, I think, is going to, it's like now that teams kind of had one under their belt, they're going to try to top themselves. And not all of them are going to be absolute winners. But I've seen some of the mock-ups and some of the crazy colorways and some of the just... It's going to be interesting for me and any collector. This is where it gets interesting this time of year, like I said, with all these new stuff coming out by Nike and Adidas. And love it or hate it, that's part of it. That's what's going to be part of the culture going forward. I mean, these teams are going to wear different stuff for money, for merchandise sales. That's why they do it. It's a business at the end of the day. And they get my money. And they get many a Jersey Heads money, right? Many collectors go after the stuff. Now, again, I'm one of those that I don't go after the authentics that much with the NBA. And I know King Leo and Mac were doing some swingman shaming on Rez's Live this. I understand. Don't think I didn't see that. I know. But I am one of those that I like to be a completist. And, you know, Steph Curry is a player I collect the jerseys. They don't make authentics. And some, I don't know why. I don't run it. But I have to have it because it's Steph jersey. You know, and I'm not one of those, oh, it's authentic or nothing. I just want the jersey. And most of what I have are the swingman jerseys, but I do have a couple authentics. But Nike doesn't make authentics and the throwbacks. And at times, they don't make them for everything, for all the statement, for city, whatever. And I don't know why. They do very limited runs. They put them out at all different times. It's very difficult. I feel the pain of people who just want those jerseys. But for me, I just want the jersey. So whether it's a swingman or authentic, I don't care. If they don't make an authentic, I'm happy with the swingman because it's in the collection. Again, it helps to complete the collection. So, that being said, basically the long and short of it, and I know usually with me it's the long of it, but the long and short of it is there's a lot that's going to be coming out. And it's tricky because now you're dealing with that. You're dealing with the holiday time coming up, the sales, Black Friday, you know, which is a event for me. And it's a lot. And a lot of people, listen, this is the time of year, yeah, because the holidays are coming. I know I've said this before. You see that influx of stuff hitting eBay and those other sites, and this just real gems start hitting because people are selling stuff because of the holidays. They either want to make money to do holiday purchases, or they want to sell because they know people are looking for stuff that time of year, right? So you're going to see an influx in that stuff, and that means you might see some more rare old gems, you know, that pop up on these, you know, sites. So there's that too. People are selling stuff, you know. You might have some Jersey Heads moving stuff because the holidays are coming and they got families and they got, you know, all the you know, that goes with the holiday time, right? So they start moving stuff, and then it's like, you know, that on top of all the new stuff coming out by Nike and Adidas, and it's like, oh man, this is overload big time. But I love it, man. This time of year, I do. I enjoy it. But it is very difficult. And you do have to kind of make those decisions. I think that was, I didn't watch all of the live yet, but I think that was one of the topics Rez was talking about, was how do you pick and choose what you really want to go after and what you kind of can do without. And obviously that's a very difficult thing. And I'll touch on this a little more another time. Right now I'm pulling into the parking lot for KOP. But, it's difficult, and believe me, this time of year, it's the most difficult. When you get into, you know, now we're getting close to Halloween, and that means that you're just around the corner from the holidays, and when you get to this time of year, it also means the new stuff starts coming out by the NBA, by, you know, the NHL. You might get some, you know, if your team is making a postseason run, like the Phillies, you might have some postseason merchandise. If they go further, if they do the ultimate goal and win the whole thing, there's more, right? So there's so much that hits you this time of year. And then you got football, NFL, you got NFL stuff popping out, right? Some of their newer stuff starts hitting. You know, and it is. And the leagues do this because they're not stupid. They know this time, now you start getting into the holidays, there's that crunch, there's that rush. Everyone wants stuff. So they're going to start pumping stuff out, right? That's what they do. That's why the City Edition comes out when it does, right? That's why all these new jerseys, the reverse retros are going to be coming out. Why? You know, they're not coming out, I would imagine, in February. They're coming out in November, in December, because it's holidays, right? That's at least when they put them out originally. And I know the City Editions, typically, I know last year it didn't because there was that production or whatever they were doing, because the league started later in the year. So I believe the City Edition stuff came out like early this year instead of around the holidays last year. But they do that strategically. They put this stuff out because they know that's when people really want to spend. But the problem with that is, for people like me, the collector, there's so much now pops out. They hit you in the face with so much. It's like, oh, what am I gonna do? And as I've said many a time, some of this stuff moves quick, particularly with hockey. You know, hockey, I mean, the basketball, I think it depends. If it's a certain style, it's going to go right away. Maybe certain players go right away, right? But others might hang around a little bit. Ja Morant sells out, right? The second the newest Ja Morant jerseys hit the websites, they're gone. You know, just like that, right? You know, you might have some other players similar to that, right? Hockey, I mean, that just because there's so many hockey collectors and there's so many, right, hockey heads that go after it, and money's no object, it seems, for some of them. Because I've seen the prices of some of these jerseys on eBay, and they sell right away. They're there, and they're gone. Excuse me. In a lot of cases, quicker than a rare Mitchell Ness jersey might. You know, you might get a Mitchell Ness jersey sitting there, and it's sitting there for weeks and months and whatever. The hockey stuff, no. So that's where you kind of have to pick and choose your battles. Now, me, like I say, I'm a completist. There's collections in the collection. So that any new Steph Curry jersey, Sixers jersey, I have to have that in the collection. Like I said, I'm sorry to King Leo and I'm sorry to Mac, but Swingman, I'm okay with it. It's in the collection. I'm happy. You do you, I do me. Okay, so that's it. The Flyers, obviously, the new retro, reverse retro this year, whatever comes out for that. I have it. I'm a Flyers fan. I have all these different Flyer jerseys. I just picked up a couple others this morning before I headed out. So yeah, it's a different Flyers jersey. I want it to have to complete the collection. You know, Ovechkin, whatever the new reverse retro is going to be for the Capitals, I'm going to want to get that Novi because I got the first one. I got the one they wore originally, that version, the Screaming Eagle, the red Screaming Eagle jersey. So whatever they put out this year for their reverse retro, I'm going to want to get, you know, for Ovi. And, you know, so yeah, I mean, if that's all I walk away with this season, I'm happy because at least those are things that are at the top. And the Ducks, the Mighty Ducks, or the Anaheim Ducks, if they put out some sort of thing with the Jason Duck logo, which I always call it that, you know, the Mighty Duck logo, if they do something like that in a reverse retro, which the original was the Wild Wing, I'm going to want to get that because I have all the other inceptions of the Jason Duck logo. So that's going to happen. So those are at the top of the list. Anything that happens after that is extra, as far as I'm concerned. That's extra. And I really like the look of the Mavericks jersey that they kind of put out there earlier in the week. People were showing it in the groups. I think it's an awesome looking jersey. I do think that's one I can get at some point. I think Mav Shop might be my best bet because there's still stuff sitting from last year in Swingman form. I get that, I know. But there's still stuff sitting there. The green throwback jersey in Swingman form is still sitting there that I would like to get. So I do believe I'll get that eventually. But again, these are all things that, again, I would consider extra. If I can get them, I'll get them. But my main goal, my main focus, as soon as these things come out, and some of them do move quick, is when the newest Statement Edition comes out for the Warriors, I want the Steph. When the City Edition comes out for them, I want the Steph. When the Sixers Brotherly Love, City of Brotherly Love jersey comes out, I want that because the Sixers. And like I said, with the reverse retro. So there's things that are musts for me. But again, this stuff all comes out at once. Even with Swingman prices, you're still, it all adds up. And that's not to mention if there's some other stuff that I've been sitting on waiting to pounce, right? That doesn't include the Mitchell & Nesta Black Friday deal, whatever that's going to be this year, right, at the flagship, even online. That doesn't include if other Jersey heads sell stuff. And it's like, oh, yeah, I kind of need that. Yeah, I kind of need that. So this is all goes. So look, the pain is real. And, people can say, well, just don't go after it. No. You don't know me very well, do you? That's not an option. I still have a love of it. I have a passion for it. This is what I want to do. And there are stuff out there that I would like to acquire to add to the collection. There's stuff, new stuff, older stuff, and it's just, it's as was said to me, this is just how I'm wired, And I know Rez and they were talking about it, and, how do you separate? Can you separate? I try to. It's easier for others than it is for others, right? It might be easier for someone else than it is for me. It's hard for me to separate. Again, maybe it's just that completist in me. When I want to do a collection, I want that collection in the collection as complete as it can possibly be. And Steph, I don't want to miss on a new Steph jersey. I don't. If I don't get the state now, is the world going to come to an end if I don't get the statement edition or the city edition Steph jersey? No. But for me, it's going to be a hole in that collection, and it's going to get me. It's going to mess with me. I know, because I know me. Same thing with some of these other, like the Philly team stuff. And the Philly team stuff, probably over everything else, is where I have the most pride and passion, because those are my teams. This is where I live. So whatever new comes out for the Flyers, for the Sixers next year, the City Connect for the Phillies, the Eagles, when they go back to the Kelly Greens next year, yeah, I'm going to want to get, and I want to have in the collection, because it's something new. It's something that represents my teams and my city, and I want that. That's, again, completist, part of the, me being a collector is trying to, whatever the newest thing is, I want to have with all the other stuff, right? That's just how it is. That's just how it is. And again, regardless of whether it's a Swingman, authentic, whether it's, we know the Nike prices with the baseball. This is just outrageous, so most of it, as much as I love authentic, it's probably not going to be authentic, right? But I probably will get an authentic in the City Connection at some point, whether it's a player or if it's just, they have that authentic stand, if it's some relief pitcher or something, just to have an authentic of it next year. I probably will do that at some point. Plus, I get a little discount being a partial season ticket on honors and privileges. So anyhow, that's basically it in a nutshell, man. And I know I've kind of rambled on as I usually do. This is why I'm doing this series. Not just to show, okay, I got this today, I got that today. It's kind of going into the little mind of a collector and the battles that you do have to fight, and it's difficult, man. And it might be more difficult for me than it is for some others in our group. Some can just say, okay, I don't have that in me. It's like, if I can make it happen, as long as my lights stay on at home and I'm paying my bills, my water bill, my electric, all those bills, and I can still do this, I'm okay. Maybe it means going to the dollar store to find some food, from here to there, or the McDonald's menu. Still love their fries. They still have the best fries. They really do. Who are we kidding? Okay. But it's just what drives me. And it's hard for me to explain to someone who's not a collector. And I'm hoping that if people watch this who aren't collectors, maybe it does kind of get a little bit of an understanding as to, this is that life. And this is what it is. I mean, why am I here at 8:30 on a Saturday morning for hats? Because I am. It's just what drives me. I want these hats. They go with jerseys. There's a connect to me in that regard. It's just what it is. And it's not a far drive, as you saw. It's like 20 some minutes and I'm here. Maybe if it was a little further away, the decision making might be a little different to wait till it hits online and get it then. Or get it there, I should say. But it's just how I'm wired. This is me. And I'm happy to bring this aspect of my life to you, the viewer. That's why I do the In the Life series. Yes, to show stuff, but also so to take you in on this journey with me. This is something that I'm very passionate for, so I want to do this. I want to bring you in with me and, have discussions like this from time to time. Oh my goodness, here we are again. The holidays are coming. All these different jerseys are going to come out. What am I going to do? What's my plan of attack? Right? What's the plot? It's there. And I know there's a whole lot more important things in life, and believe me, I'm dealing with it. My family's dealing with it, and I get that. These are very trivial things, right? These are just something that you wear. There's nothing that, about these that are going to save a life, that are going to do something like that. But they are a big part of my life. This is a big part of who I am, and you got to be you at the end of the day. I know Snacks did something on his IG saying, hey, you know what? People leave stuff in boxes. I take them out. I want it displayed. I want to look at it and hold it, and I put my money on it. Why do I just want it in a box? And it's very true. And shout out to Snacks. I hope he's doing well. I know he said he's moving, and I hope that all goes well for you. And I hope things are going well in your life. But it's very true. I mean, at the end of the day, what's it doing? People buy sneakers that they never take out of the box. But that's what they do. But, wear it, I mean, if you spend money, wear it, enjoy it. That's what it's really for. Yeah, I mean, you're worried about scuffing them up. I know I was wearing my Questions in the Phillies, so old school colorway last night. I was walking a little more careful than normal. But I enjoyed them, man. They look good. I was wearing the throwback Harper and all that. I had it all going. Like, oh my goodness, I was peacock strutting around last week. You should have seen. But anyhow, I'm going to stop for now because I got to get in the mall to get hats. It's very robotic, isn't it? I'm here to get hats. I told them one day I'm just going to go there and get a hoodie. I'm gonna fool them. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, I will be back again soon, hopefully before the end of the weekend, with some pickups. I will do the In the Life series after this big game on Sunday night. Go Birds as always. Go Phillies. Let's wrap it up today against Atlanta and move on to the NLCS, which would be awesome. Particularly with the fact I'll be going to a game if that happens in the playoffs, which I've never seen a playoff baseball game in person, which I hope to do. So, anyhow, it's a big weekend here in Philly for sports, and, I'll be back again shortly. Hopefully before the end of the weekend, we'll do some pickups. We'll chop it up a little more then. And thanks as always for all the support to the channel. And what do you always got to do? You got to leave those likes. I didn't want to give the thumbs up really good because someone was driving by. All right, give the likes, leave the likes as many times as you can. And also make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit the bell icon so you're notified to all future content from yours truly. Oh, I'm all choked up. Okay, I gotta go. But I will see you again soon on the channel. Y'all take care.